Okay, guys, again, welcome to the MMC University. Again, my name is Mr. E with you today. We're going to be talking about Section 2, an insurance rules and regulation. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Give me a second. We're going to, if you have a chance to watch part 1, if you have a chance to watch the first video, so you need to go watch that before you can go to the next one because give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. So it's 2 sessions. We're gonna do it in 2 sessions. This is section 2. We're gonna talk about last time we talked about licensing, the laws, and all the way to the um, how you can maintain your license. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can continue the second part. Remember, this is not a class. This is just like some help to help you understand your material. Okay, so you can be able to pass your exam if you follow the guidelines on your study material. So this is chapter 5 on Indiana. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Comments in case I need some feedback that I can help you guys better with it. So I'll be really appreciate that. So let's go ahead and get going. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my camera off and then put this thing so later. You just need to see hear my voice. That's it. Okay. This is producer. Oh, don't forget to have your water. No, you need your water. Water is life. So this is this is producer and company regulation. Okay. So let's go to number 1. Let's go to number 1 of it. We're going to talk about the unfair competition law. And I did mention unfair. Fair mean it's fair, not unmean not fair. So there's some competition that's not fair. So also known as Unfair Trade Practice Act. So there's things you should not be able to do. You can't do. So this was a law. When you see it's an act, it's a law. So something happens, somebody come up with something. Was enacted to identify practice of unfair competition and to establish procedures and penalties for violations. So the list of violation is quite extensive. So it is your job as a producer, it's your responsibility to keep up to date to the statutory guidelines to for the policies that you are selling. Okay, so the most important unfair trade competition activities, they are listed in the video I'm gonna mention here. The first one we're gonna talk about is the misrepresentation. The word is representation. Represent. Okay, represent. Okay, and inside represent, you're gonna see present. Present, represent, and now representation, and then you find misrepresentation. This is a combination of a bunch of damn words. Okay, inside this one, there's 4 words you can find. Okay, so when you see MIS in front of the words, it means not. Okay, misrepresentation. Representation is statement that is believed to be true, but misrepresentation is statement that believed not to be true. It's an untrue statement. So misrepresentation, it is an illegal act. It is illegal to issue, publish, or circulate any illustration or sales material that is false, misleading, or deceptive as a policy benefit or terms or payment of dividend. This is also to the verbal statement. Committing this illegal act is called misrepresentation. So if you lie about policy benefits, if you lie about terms, okay, or payment of dividend, you're doing misrepresentation. Now, false advertising is different. First advertising, now this is now you're circulating information, you're publishing communication on the ads or on the newspaper, into a magazine, into a broadcast, into a commercial television, or on the internet that is not true. There can be untrue, deceptive, misleading statement, but they are due to insurance people that's in the insurance business. So the violation of this rule is called false advertising. Now you publishing things that's not accurate. You're not only just telling them white face to face. Now you're telling them on a broadcast about it. It's called false advertising. It's just like you tell somebody, if you a lot of time the cell phone company do false advertising. A lot of time they say unlimited data, everything is unlimited. They're so bull crapping. And after you pay the cell phone after the first 20 days, if you were using the internet so much, and then it starts doing that. No, it was unlimited to 2G unlimited, meaning that or 3G unlimited. So meaning that yes, we give you 5G, but if you use it too much, we're gonna downgrade it to a 2G, but it's limited then. Okay, it was unlimited for the 2G, but for the 5G is not. It's limited to a certain extent. So that kind of false advertising. Okay, so it is prohibited to advertise or circulate. Know those two words. Okay, right here. It is prohibited to advertise. Okay, to advertise or circulate any material that untrue, deceptive, misleading. So this is the word you need to know. Circulate, advertise. If you see the word circulate, okay, advertise, so they're referring to, it's a false, deceptive advertisement. It's thinking of misreasoning any of the following. So that's the term that is for false advertising. So it's if you do that in any term, benefit, condition, advantage, there's of any insurance policy or any dividend to be received from a policy or previously paid out, financial condition of any person of an insurance company, or the true purpose of assignment or a loan against a policy. Representing an insurance policy, okay, as a share stock, or using the name tallow, or the tallow that may misrepresent the true nature of the policy, also be considered false advertising. Okay? So you can't do false advertising. So please don't do it. Rebaiting. Rebaiting. So rebaiting is defined as, remember when we were learning about the endorsement, the word endorsement associated with rebaiting. Rebaiting is also is defined as an endorsement offer to the insured for the sales of what? A product that is not specified in the policy. So now you're telling somebody, you're gonna pay the premium. So if you buy this policy from me, you don't have to pay the premium. So who's paying it? So you are. So that's rebaiting. Special favor, okay? Services. You tell them, hey, listen, if you buy this policy, I'm gonna let you use my car for the weekend, or my house for the weekend. Or because if you let them that, because now you give them a special favor or some type of service, advantages in the dividend or other benefits. So that's rebaiting if you give them advantages in the dividend or other benefits. Or if you give them stocks, bonds, because a stock can go unlimited. So a bond can go at least $1,000 for a bond. So any securities that also will consider rebaiting. So in this state, that's been in Indiana, in this state, producers are allowed to give a small item. You are allowed. We're not saying it's totally illegal to do rebaiting, but it cannot value no more than $25. $25 or less, it's fine. A gift for $25 is less or less. Now, if you pay a ticket for somebody to go to a basketball game, that's also will consider rebating because there's ticket that's more than 25. I know you say, oh, well, the ticket was less than 25, but that's you saying it. Who cares? It still will be part of that. That'll be um, rebating. Share commission. In Indiana, any payment allowance, discount, credit, or premium abatement that is not specified in the insurance policy also is filed is considered rebating. So there is no such thing as discount. Policies, insurance don't have discount. If you give them a discount, that's mean somebody is taking care of that. So be careful with that. License insurer or insurance producer may pay or assign commission, services, brokerage, valuable commission to other insurance producers. In the event of the individual collecting commission is not licensed, the recipient may do as long as they are not involved in selling the or soliciting the. Okay, what is saying? You can share a commission with somebody who is not licensed as long as they don't get involved in the transaction at all. So they can receive a commission or service fee, a brokerage fee, or a valuable consideration to other licensed producer. So in the event an individual collecting commission is not licensed, so make sure that the recipient may do as long as they are not involved in the selling process or the soliciting process or the negotiating process. Twisting. Do not confuse twisting with misrepresentation. Twisting is when you try to twist an insurance product to another one. So it is a misrepresentation. You can see twisting is a type of misrepresentation, or it's an incomplete or fraudulent comparison of an insurance policy that persuade. Now you persuade somebody, the owner or the insured, to the detriment to cancel or lapse or switch a policy or to take out or with another insurer. Twisting is prohibited. So meaning that you're forcing somebody to switch a policy from a different company even though it's not in the best interest. It's an illegal thing to do. Let's say you're working for ABC company, and because the fact that you don't like ABC company or you don't work for ABC company anymore, now you're working for XYZ company, and you tell all your clients, hey, listen, I know I told you guys ABC company was the best company, but unfortunately I don't work for ABC company right now, so therefore I'm in XYZ company. I want you to switch all your policy over to me over here. You can't do that. That's an illegal act. That's twisting. You make somebody switch the policy to another company and it's not in the best interest because it's never on sale. Illegal endorsement. It is unlawful to pay, offer, or accept any of the following as an endorsement to buy an insurance. Any special favor or disadvantage of in a dividend or benefit. Any stocks, bonds, securities, or accrued dividend or profit. Or anything of value not specified in the policy of insurance contract more than $25. I add that for you, so you remember that. Okay, so defamation. Okay. Give me 1 second. Hold on, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Let's go ahead. We'll talk about defamation. Now, deform. So this is somebody now. What they doing? Oops, this thing is. Come on. They're doing defamation. So defamation occurs when an oral or written statement is made that to intend to injure a person engaged in the insurance business. So if you make an attempt or you're trying either in oral, like with your mouth or with your by word that you're saying to someone or in writing to injure a person that engages in insurance business, this is not good. And the word that you have to also know this word, maliciously critical. You criticize the financial condition of a person or a company. Now, this is defamation. Don't do that. Criticize. No criticize. No maliciously critical statement. You don't do this. Unfair discrimination. Discrimination is not allowed. Same class, okay? It's illegal to do discrimination. You cannot use somebody's marital status to charge them. You cannot use their race, national origin, gender identity, sexual orientation, grade, or ancestry just to say, you know what, for the heck of it, from your old grandparents, you are being bad to us, so we're going to charge you more money. Can't do that. Ancestry. You can't go back, say that, oh, you know what, since you are a black person, or since you are African American, since you came from Mexico, so, and you, or since you are a lesbian or a gay, we can't use any of that to charge somebody in the insurance or claims. Discrimination is not allowed, period. So you're going to some other term you have to use: boycotting, coercion, intimidation. So it is illegal to involve in any activity that to boycott or coercion to intimidate. Okay, you can't use those terminology to someone to force them to do something, try to make them scared. That type of behavior is not good. Coercion is required as a condition to a loan that an applicant purchases an insurance from the specific insurer. So coercion is it's you know sometimes you can go to a car payment and they want you, like, if you don't buy this insurance, the loan not gonna get approved. That's the type of coercion. Because buying, I'm coming here to get a loan. I don't come here to buy an insurance policy. So you can't use it as something to threat me so I can, get the loan. That's not good. So coercion not allowed. Intimidation not allowed when it comes to the insurance business. Just know that. Coercion is when you use intimidation, try to make somebody scared, to force them to do something because you make them so scared. Other violation. Restraining trade is a producer may not conspire to obstruct the normal business process of insurance. So, no conspiracy, conspired. You can't try to no monopolizing any part of the insurance business. You can't do like lending institution. Those are some other violations that's not allowed. So just know those three words: restraining, trade, monopolizing, and lending institution. Those three is another type of violation you don't want to do. Unfair claim settlement practice. Unfair claim settlement practice. So it is unfair. You can see there's a bunch of things here. I will not have the time to go to all of this, but I want you to know there's things that you cannot do when it comes to unclaimed settlement. If you do all this, you could be committed of unclaimed settlement practice. Misrepresenting pertaining fact of an insurance policy provision relating to the coverage. Failing to acknowledge or reasonable communication with the respect to the claim. Failing to adopt or implement reasonable standard promptly investigation of a claim. So there's a lot of things here that that will make what you're doing. You get the proof of the loss, but you refuse to pay the money. You should not a company should not take no more than 30 days to pay the claim. Really, should not take that long. Okay. It's just like 30 days to cancel your policy, 30 days to they give you as a grace period. So 30 days to pay me my money too if the person passes away. That's simple. Okay. Insurance fraud regulation. Fraud is an insurance act. So that's mean it's a law. It can be either of the following: the preparation or presentation of a written statement as part of or suppose of a fraudulent application for the insurance or the rating of the policy of a commercial insurance. Okay, so let's see. Number two, a fraudulent claim under a policy or commercial or a personal insurance or a concealment for the purpose of providing misleading information concerning any facts, material of an application claim. So there's fraudulent things like if you do fraud, a person who knowingly with an intent to defraud an insurer file a statement or a claim pertaining to a false or incomplete or misleading information, you will commit felony. So the lack of statement required under this law does not constitute a defense against a prosecution. So a lot of time people need to be very careful when you, because fraud is something you should not want to do, because if you do something that's unlawful, an insurance fraud, they can charge you a fine and they can put you up in jail for 15 years. I mean, 10 years you see over here. Because if you read in this paragraph right here, it is considered unlawful insurance fraud for any person engaged in the business of insurance, okay, to willfully and with the intent of deceive to make any or written statement that are either false or to omit material facts. This includes information and statements made on an application for insurance. So you can't lie on the application for insurance. Renew of a policy. You can't lie when you renew the policy. Claim for payment of benefits, premium paid, or financial condition of an insurer. Anyone engaged in the business of insurance whose activity affects interstate commerce and who knowingly makes false material statements may be fined, imprisonment up to 10 years or both. So they can fine you and give you up to 10 years in jail. If the activity jeopardize, okay, the security of the accompanied insurer, so the punishment can be up to 15 years. So you have some serious things that can happen. Anyone acting as an officer, director, agent, or other insurance employee who is convicted of embezzlement fund face the aforementioned fine and imprisonment. However, if the embezzlement was in the amount of less than $5,000, prison time may be reduced to 1 year. So if it is more than 5,000, so they're gonna give you more time in jail. Less than 5,000, they may reduce it. The federal law makes it illegal for an individual convicted of a crime involving dishonesty, breach of a trust, of a violation of the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act of 1994 to work in the business of insurance affecting interstate commerce without receiving a letter of written consent from the insurance regulation officer. So a 1033 waiver, that's the form that need to be filed. So the consent of the official must specify that it is granted for the purpose of the 18 U.S.C. 1033. Anyone convicted of a felony involving dishonesty or breach of trust who also engage in the business of insurance will be fined, imprisonment up to 5 years or both. So if you commit things that you didn't dishonest, you breach there's violation. If you violate this violent crime control, the Law Enforcement Act of 1934. So in order for you to work in the business of insurance affecting interstate commerce without receiving a letter of, and you have to do this form to receive that letter, then that's also would be a violation. Section 1034, civil penalty and injunction for violation of the Section 1033. So if you violate 1033, so 1034 say I'm gonna penalize you. State that Attorney General may bring a civil action in the appropriate U.S. District Court against that person engaged in the conduct and in the violation of the Section 1033, not more than 50,000 for each violation. So if they find you violate the 1033 waiver, you violated, so they can charge you a civil action, bring that against you, and they can charge you up to $50,000. $50,000. So in the state of Indiana, any person who report in good faith as is suspected insurance fraud or law enforcement official is protected from any civil liability for damages. This is known as whistleblowers immunity. So the whistleblower in the state of Indiana is the person who report in good faith is suspected insurance fraud. So that's mean if you report it, you are a whistleblower immunity. So, uh, so the law enforcement official is protected from any civil liability. So they will protect you from civil liability. Wow. Privacy of the consumer financial information. So one of the things that I see here, applicant must be notified that an inspection has been ordered and the name of all the people contacted within the preceding 6 months must be provided the applicant upon request. If the applicant requested, if the application is rejected because of the information gained from the inspection, the applicant must be told the nature and the substance of the information that's in the report. That's privacy information to protect an applicant. Disciplinary action, producer licensing law violation. So the commissioner may levy a civil penalty, place a producer on probation, suspension, revocation, producer license, or refuse to issue or renew a producer license to take a combination of this action of any of the following. So this is all this thing again. I'm not gonna read all of this. So have a chance. You can see it on the screen. Any of this thing here can cause your license to be put you on probation, suspension, revocation. Okay. If the commissioner refuses to issue or renew a license, the commissioner will notify the applicant or licensee and advise him or her in a written sent to a regular first class mail of the reason for denial or renewal. Okay. You see that's in the first class mail, you cannot say you didn't get it. The commissioner may impose a civil fine of a minimum $50 and a maximum of $10,000 on the offending producer, or may order him or her to make monetary restitution. Payback, restitution, payback. The commissioner may also suspend, revoke, or refuse the license of a business entity if, after the hearing, commissioner determined that the violation by the producer representing the company was known. So they know what you were doing, and that's what happening. Complaint process. Hearing. When an insurance license applicant was denied, when an insurance license applicant was denied a license, or when a producer was denied a license renewal, the commissioner will notify the applicant or the producer a regular first class mail. We did mention that For the reason for the license was denial or the non-renewal, the applicant or the licensee may also make a written demand on the commissioner for a hearing to determine if the commissioner action was reasonable not more than 60 days after notice denial or renewal in the mail is mailed. The hearing will be held no more than 30 days after the applicant license make a written demand. So meaning that if they deny you to the denial of the license or renewal, so the commissioner will let you know that in first class mail. But at the same time, you as the individual, you have 63 days if you after the notice, after you get that denial or renewal in the mail to request a hearing, and then they should not take no more than 30 days to grant you that hearing, so they can see if there is any. That's if you feel like what they do is unfair. If you feel like what they're doing is not accurate, so you can request a hearing in 63 days after you get it, and they have 30 days to make sure that they can do that hearing to make sure they didn't violate your rights. After the hearing, the commissioner has the authority to do the following: censure the producer, stop you from doing it, issue you a letter of reprimand, or place the producer on a probation, which may include limiting business, require remedia education, and report from the producer. Also order the producer to make monetary restitution and impose a civil fine in the amount of not less than $50 and no more than $10,000. So if you feel like if you're at fault, you're at fault. So don't think you're gonna win the case and you lost it and you have to pay that $50 to $10,000. Unfair claim practice complaint. When a consumer feel that an unfair claim practice has taken place, they may file a complaint with the commissioner. The following action will then be taken within 10 business days. Send a copy to the complaint to the company accused of the claim, and they inform the complaining party about the action taken and the action contemplated upon. So in return, the company must conduct a prompt and thorough investigation into the complaint within 20 days and provide the commissioner and the complaining party a written report state the following: specific reason for the company action, lack of thereof, and a good faith estimate for the time frame for the settlement of the claim. So what this saying is, if a client, a consumer, make a complaint about a company, so the action must be taken by the commission in 10 days. So if somebody called the commission in your state in Indiana, they complain. So they have 10 days, the commission have 10 days to make a respond and then send a copy to both you that say, hey, you know what, we got your complaint and we're going to send it to the insurance company, blah, blah, blah. And once the insurance company gets it, they have 20 days to make sure they get things taken care of the way they're supposed to. Mm-hmm. That's how it works. Unfair trade practice hearing. If the commissioner has the reason to believe that an insurance producer has been involved in unfair trade practice, the commissioner will hold a hearing. The producer must be notified the hearing and the charges no later than 5 days before the hearing. So when a complaint was received from someone outside of the Department of Insurance, the copy of the complaint must be provided with the notice of the hearing. So 5 days before the hearing, the producer must be notified. They notify the hearing and the charges, so they cannot take no more than 5 days to let you know what's up. Okay, cease and desist order. If the commissioner suspect that an insurance professional is violating or is about to violate, they make issue a cease and desist order. So this means like, hey, stop what you're doing because you're about to commit a violation. So if you don't stop, we're gonna proceed. You're gonna violate something, and that's what happened. So any person who violates a cease and desist order may have big problem with the commissioner. So a maximum civil penalty is 25,000 for each violation. Okay, up to 50,000 for willful violation. If you don't know, maximum 25. If you know what you're doing, it's $50,000 per violation, and they can suspend or revoke your license. Okay, so penalty. Penalties can be applied to those who violate the rule of regulation. The insurance code, the penalty includes monetary fine up to $25,000 each violation, suspension of the license for a period of a year, for a period of years, or revocation of license. So they can suspend your license for more than a year. Okay, it's not just a year, more than a year. So at the discretion of the commissioner, one or more like this penalty may be applied. The penalty for knowingly violating the insurance code is $50,000. Know that. So 50,000. If you know what you're doing in purpose, 50. If you didn't know, it's an accident thing happened. 25. Criminal penalty. When you do think that's criminal, any person who willfully and recklessly violates the Indiana insurance code will be charged with a Class C misdemeanor, which is punishable by up to 60 days in jail. Okay? And they can also fine you for $5,000. So on this little diagram here, it shows you what's happening. You do a violation, then we're gonna go do a hearing. Then after that, they issue a cease and desist order. Okay. Then other penalties. Okay. So that's what happened. So you see the diagram, you see how that works. So in a sense, there is you just gotta know. Okay. So you just really gotta know how this process goes. So you have to be very careful so you don't violate. Or there's disciplinary action. There's other things that can really get you in trouble too. Child support. Licensee may have their license suspended or revoked if they fail to comply with the administrative court order imposing on a child support obligation. So an insurance producer would be considered delinquent if they are at least $2,000 or 3 months past due in the payment of the court ordered child support. This it just say what it says. So if you owe child support more than $2,000 or 3 months, you'll be in trouble. So the notice of suspension will state the producer is delinquent and the subject of two and other placing the producer on a probationary status unless the producer does the following within 20 days after the date of the notice is mailed. So if they notice that, okay, you're behind on your child support, so 20 days after the notice, within that 20 days, if you pay the child support in areas, that's mean that you owe the back pay in full, or you establish a payment plan, then you can have a chance to continue without this disciplinary action. Wow. So failure to pay income taxes. If a person who holds an insurance producer license failed to pay or comply with any administrative other directing payment of state income tax, the commissioner may refuse to, or suspend their license. They can refuse your license. They can suspend your license. So pay your taxes. In determining if a person has failed to pay state tax payment, the commissioner may check public record, including tax warrant list, and take appropriate action based on the individual appearance on such list. Wow. So if you are in Indiana, please pay your taxes. Okay. So if you did have to take a break, you can take a break. Remember, I say that the video, you can take breaks in order for you, um, but this is the summary chart. In order for a person, your best to perform your best on the state regulation portion of the exam, make sure you memorize these numbers. So if you really want to do this, you have to know these numbers for your exam. Okay. So 5 years for examine insurer. So you have 5 years to examine an insurance company or the principal. I'll call the principal. 5 days for commissioner to notify a producer of the hearing on unfair trade practice. 5 days they will let you know, okay, to notify you, okay, there's a hearing on unfair trade practice. Now, 30 days to hold hearing after written demand. Okay, after 30 days to hold a hearing after a written demand. 20 days for a company to respond to an unfair trade practice complaint. 20 days. 63 days to demand hearing after notice of license denial or non-renewal. Licensing and appointment requirement. 18, minimum 18 age to apply for an insurance license. 18, not to buy insurance. I'm talking 18 minimum age to apply for an insurance license to become a producer. 12 months to reinstate a lapse license without taking examination. And 2 years to renew your license, okay? And you have 180 days maximum period for a temporary license. Now, this is some miscellaneous producer regulation. 30 days to report changes in your name, your address. 30 days to report criminal administrative action taken against you if you go to jail. Don't forget the 30 days also for your email address. Okay? 30 days for insurer to report new directors and principal officers. 24 hours for CE requirement license. 3 hours require CE communication on ethics every renewal. You can't escape that. Okay? 25% maximum allow in commission from controlled business in 12 months period. Important dollar amount. $25 maximum value of a gift merchandise given by an insurer or producer to a customer to avoid rebating. $50 to $10,000 civil fine for licensing law violation. $25,000 for $25,000 fine for insurer for transacting insurance without a certificate of authority. $25,000 fine for violation of a cease and desist order. $50,000 fine for willfully violation of an insurance code of willfully violation for a cease and desist order. And 3 times penalty for a times to 3 times penalty. Penalty of 3 times the unpaid renewal fee for the fee received after the due, which is what that $40 you have to pay 3 times. Okay? So this is the numbers that you need to know. That's very good. Wow. In order for you to do your best on the state exam on this section, this is very important numbers for you to know in the state of Indiana. So you need to understand, my God, at the MMC University, we do our very best to make sure everybody that can come here, you can pass the exam. Now, of course, they don't make the exam as easy as possible. They don't need to, because they want to make sure you know what the heck you're doing. So at the end of the day, you just don't forget, you can do it. You can pass the exam, but you got to study. Okay, don't just be on your TikTok, on your other things. Study. Okay, I wish you all success. I wish you best wishes on the exam. Study hard, and it pays off at the end of the day. Good luck. See you guys at the top. Bye-bye. I'll see you on another video. Thumbs up. Don't forget to comment.